Greetings everybody. Welcome to the photosynthesis theory. We are doing a trade recap of my week 2 funding talent challenge account, and so the plan is I'm gonna go over each position and we're gonna talk about the negatives and the positives, and then we will be comparing the week 2 to the week 1, because I think there's been some significant changes, and it just goes to show that when you focus on discipline, that you can make real changes. I have no other words for it but that. So I'll also talk about how my mind is trying to tackle this week 23, and it's also my third week of the beginning of the third week of my funding talent challenge account, and so I have 9 trading days to try and pass the challenge. So that's that. Okay, we're gonna go over to the recap part of things now, like right now. Did it work? Okay, cool. So as you can see, we have week 2 review of the challenge, and we have, as you can see here, 4 positions, and I've kind of revamped the presentation a little bit, and now we have negatives and positives much more clearly compared to my first recap. And we just have this little conclusion here if you can't stay, and at least you know what happened right away, and a little bit of an overview at the bottom. My plan from last week on how I was going to be behaving and trying to study what stuff I'm gonna be working on for the weekend for this week. I hope I'm making sense. I really do, but I think I am. And then I have solidified the plan for this week. I really should do this over the weekend so I don't have a hard time trying to describe what I've been doing. Anyway, it's really important for me to share this out there, just so I'm making up towards and working up towards my plans, and accountability type of thing. Cool. All right, so position number 1, we are going to just move me over, and here we are. Now position number 1 was we'll just talk about once again what the image is right in front of us, and anything I say is regarding that image, right? So this is my last shitty position from having this streak of shitty positions. So as you can see, I was still buying high and using the wrong candle as confirmation. That means when you're buying, right, why would you use a selling candle as a confirmation? It's totally dumb, right? And then look, I did it again for a second, part 2 of the position, right? So I've given the trade another chance, but I've given it the wrong chance. Right? So I was still carrying over some bad habits from my first week, but I had I was starting to cut some losses and even take a minor profit on the second chance. So going over the negatives again is that I was still buying high and I was still having the wrong confirmation. Now I have improved on the risk management side of things. On this trade, I was more focused on calculations, even though I still made some mistakes, but I at least started thinking about my calculations more seriously in terms of stop loss and how much of my account am I risking, and I was executing the plan right there. and it was probably the most uncomfortable thing ever, like cutting loss and accepting that. But here we are, and I'm feeling great. We'll go through why I'm actually feeling great about it. And then I started securing profits, and I have a better stop loss. Like last week I would put my stop loss all the way down here, right? And now it just makes more sense to put it there, even though it's the wrong candle. Okay, and then it's the same trade, right? And I looked back like what happened in my last position. Now with this position, I could have left a runner running, because look at that. That would have been many percentage, you know. This is like a potential I'm still due to tap into. And so this is a very important screenshot for me to convince my brain that it's okay to leave a runner. Like I don't have to be on top of the screen all the time just to make something out of it. And on this day, you know, it's nuts, because I was actually at the services station doing this trade, and that's why I did a shitty thing where I was using, you know, it's not the environment where you should trade properly, especially on your funding account. So please don't copy that. Like I mean that seriously. Don't don't blow your account in the service stations when you're driving. It's just nuts. And the thing is, I got fined because I overstayed. Which is a really funny thing I'm gonna remember forever. But I learned a lot in that service station. So yeah, it pays to learn. I hope it's not such a to me it makes sense. I'm happy, I'm fine, I'm good. Now this is my trade number 2. This is on the Tuesday last week, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what I've been trying to convince myself to do from my bad habits. Look at that. I used the right candle to buy, right? Blue means blue arrow pointing to the right is a buy position, right? And I used the right candle. I put the nice stop loss up there. I was executive about it. Like, you know, it closed, I'm in. Like, it's just great. Now, what did I do here is that, so this is the next thing that I did, as you can see. So I cut my losses because I have a rule where I would cut my loss at 50% of my stop loss height, right? And I executed that. And then yeah, I talk about this before I go, like even go onto the charts on my live stream New York sessions, which is I'm going to do right after this recap. So now we have taken also some profits after, and we've started securing what do you call this? Sorry, trailing my stops. That means that I've been attempting to go risk-free, where I would move my stop, not risking my capital. And so as you can see, I think this is a, did I get, I don't know, I didn't publish this one. This is my first solo live stream that I didn't tell anyone about. So, but I have a recording on the laptop. Okay, so the good thing, sorry, the bad thing about this is that it was FOMO. I was having fears of missing out from previous positions like this one. I was actually intending to go and take a position around here, but then I just got scared, so I didn't take it. I missed the trade. But then I learned from, okay, so the retesting really happens, it really does work. And so I took this trade here. But honestly, I still, even though it worked out, I still had this feeling of I might miss out, I might miss out, right? So then I took a trade. But I guess it was just fear of, like, am I going to be in this trade or not? But I still managed to execute the plan where I must wait for my confirmation, I must put my stop loss, and I must execute my risk management plan if I experience any drawdown. And yes, there is some lack of confidence here because I'm very new, and yeah, I mean, I guess it's not like lack of confidence when you execute, but I still had this feeling of, oh, am I gonna make it? Is it gonna happen? But yeah, and I think that's experience will fix that. So yeah, somehow I'm gonna look back on this day that, oh yeah, I used to feel lack of confidence, and then eventually, you know, the dream is to be trading like I'm drinking coffee. That's the dream, that's the vision. So yeah, not leaving a runner again, because I should practice that. Now, positive side is that yes, better execution of risk management. I was more on point with my stop loss calculation. I managed to spread the peanut butter jelly more evenly onto the toast. And yeah, and I was cutting loss right away, and I was securing profits, as you can see there. I wanted to secure a profit up here. I think this was like 35 pips, because I wanted to be able to say that I managed to get 35 pips, right? Which is like such a great feeling. And anyway, I just left the runner. Oh wait, I did leave a runner, and then it just got stopped out when it went down. And I think a lot of the Forex community who's trading the same strategy, they managed to capitalize on this, because actually this is a resistance, a very strong resistance. And actually that's also why it's a negative, because I was buying at a resistance. You know, it's like I'm happy to get smacked down. Like, that's not right. Just because I missed a trade and then I wanted to be in a trade. So do you see the logic where I'm saying there was FOMO? Okay, now yeah, I managed to wait for a logical setup. I waited for confirmation. It's a nice entry. Yeah, I did like it, and I had a logical stop loss, right? So that's trade number 3. And that was trade number 2. Now this is trade number 3. This is my first ever live stream New York session trade position, where yeah, it's on the YouTube. I made a playlist for it. I think I put a link on the description just now. So if you're curious to see how that all went down, then yeah, feel free to go click. So it's a long position again, blue arrow, and the idea was that I wanted to enter the trade on an impulsive candle. So it's different to how I entered that previous trade, where I wait for candle close in my direction and then I entered. This is another type of entry where, as it's going up and breaking the candles on the left, because volume is on your side, right? Like yeah, like if you have a big push, right, as it's pushing, if you time yourself right, this is why it's important to find out what time that is, you know, but it varies. It's not exactly that time. Then yeah, I wanted to enter there, and you know what the hardest thing was? It's like it's a massive stop loss, but I still went by the rule of putting a stop loss at the wick, right? And I did some calculations for my risk management here to spread the peanut butter jelly on the toast evenly, but I made a minor mistake because I think I was slow or something like that, or I don't know. Okay, that's another one. Never mind. Okay, so I entered. I was in drawdown, and yeah, I trailed my stops like so, and from there I started taking profits here. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Because I was having fear here, like, oh, am I gonna get it? And this is a position where my stop loss was here, right? So after I took my first take profit, I put my stop loss there. After it moved up a little bit, I took some more profits, and then I put my stop loss there, and I've been completely risk-free even from the second trail stop. And then it went all the way up there. I took some more profit, a small, it's like a 80% of my position, and then I trailed the stop right here after that, and then I just got stopped out as it did this, you know, wiki behavior. Okay, so another FOMO, because this is a strong resistance right here, and the more experienced traders in the community actually took this trade right there. So they were more patient than me, and I think it's just because, you know, I can't sit that long in the charts, and I think I should be proud of myself for being able to say, hey, I can't last that long, and so I'm just gonna take what I can, logically at least, compared to last week, and then I'm out, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna work on increasing my mental stamina on like sitting on the trade. What I mean by that is that, you know, I want to be sitting on a trade a little bit longer but still performing at high capacity. Not like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here just because I know there's a resistance there, and because I know I missed out on those would have been a big move, but then my brain is fried. Like, how am I gonna execute? How am I gonna do the clickety clack on the terminal? How am I gonna calculate my take profits percentages? You know, I don't have magic keys. I've said this on the live before. That's all I got for my magic keys. Like, it's due to arrive, and it's not even gonna get shipped until July. So I'm just working with what I've got, and I'm just training myself to be disciplined, you know, in my environment that I got. Now, I should have really just left the trade alone, and probably, you know, maybe a bit more generous on where I put my stop loss, because if I did that, then I would have been, you know, up there. But hey, it's just inexperience not doing it. Now, the other negative is that, yes, it's an impulsive entry that I have been learning about over the weekend from week 1, but, you know, really, I still don't have much confidence in it, and I'm not the most experienced. It's a super new concept to me, you know. It's just like super weird and super new, and, you know, you shouldn't really do stuff like that when you're trading a funding challenge account. But for me, it's like, you know, the conditions are there, so why not? If the issue is just not me not having confidence, but everything is there, so I'm just like, why not just do it? And if I do it, and I'm in drawdown, then I have my risk management plan to execute, right? So I don't know, I hope that makes sense. Okay, positive side of things is that, yes, much more quick on the trailing stops, securing profits, definitely. And yeah, waiting for setups and waiting for confirmation, and especially if this was a, you know, a new confirmation kind of strategy for me. And yeah, I'm very proud. Out of all of this, the thing I'm most proud of is the stop loss right there, because I managed to just stick to the rules and put my stop loss there, not here, you know, not half the candle, here underneath there. So I'm really proud of me being able to do that. Cool. Now, trade number 4. This is the big one on Friday, where I managed to go. I really failed. Okay. I was in drawdown, and also I was shitting myself because I had the wrong calculations in mind. And also, this was an impulse entry on a super fast like scenario. And yeah, but, you know, in the midst of all of that, I was still like, okay, you've entered, you've waited, you've entered. It's not the fastest execution on entry, but, you know, I suck up the not being confident thing, and I'm just like, okay, once you've entered, you forget about how you're feeling. You're just gonna execute your risk management plan. And once again, I was in drawdown as soon as I entered, but that's because it did a just 100 pips something like run, and for me to enter, you know, it's clearly FOMO. I think this is a super low time frame as well, but yeah, so it did a mini drawdown, and then it just went up and stayed there for a long time, and I couldn't hack it, right? My mental stamina wasn't there. Okay, and so yes, I did a bad thing, but I still stuck to my risk management plan, and that is like my main goal from, you know, last week, just to execute risk management. And so I did. I was negative $500 on this, and then somehow I still, you know, had, I don't know, I just felt like the market was still gonna go up. And so I just sat there and just wanted to be able to stay in the trade, and if anything, be able to execute part 2 of my risk management plan, which is cutting losses at 75% of the height again. And if that fails, I had my third plan, which is to turn off or close the position at 90%, right? But because I had, you know, like volume on my side, just the big push from this is like a massive strong support from higher time frame. So I was scared shooting myself, but logically speaking, it was a trade that was still gonna work out, even though I was in drawdown and I already cut my losses, and I just let it run. And yeah, took some profits, trailed my stop. As you can see, I got too scared of the fact that I was in drawdown and my trading of my stop was like way above break even. But that's just me, you know, being a little bit scared. And yeah, and and then taking some more profits. I think this was a 30 pip stop, 30 pip take profit right here. And then I just, you know, I lost some confidence because it was doing this wiki kind of thing, and I just ended up trailing my stop too strictly, and I just got tagged out right there. So from negative $500, I made it all the way back and got $14. So yes, it's silly, but my execution of risk management was on point, even though I fucked up. So that's super important for me. Yeah. Okay, so there was FOMO, definitely, because I planned to take the entry here, like the impulse entry here, which would have been nicer, but I got scared. And also I was having like malfunctions on the system, and like no, I don't want to answer the phone. Okay, whoa. Alright, someone called my phone just now. Anyway, okay, so what was I saying? I hate this. Right. So yeah, I had some FOMO because I missed this trade right here. And I'm like, okay, I want to enter. I actually started to think about entering as this candle breaks up there, and it would have been sick stop, right? But I was too slow. Literally, I was doing my magic keys, and then I had to clickety clack, and it just took time, and then my entry ended up going there. But still, I stuck to the rules and put my stop where I wanted to put it according to this candle. Right. Okay. So yeah, mistakes for, oh yeah, that was the big thing, the spread. Oh my goodness. I forgot that. It's like stupid, but yeah, I've learned from it. Now, yeah, so there have been some FOMO, but I did not act on them. So that's a good thing. So it's just like, feeling of that, I'm gonna miss out, but no, I'm not gonna enter. So it wasn't like unofficial FOMO. Now, and then do you know what the most thing I was proud of is that even though I fucked up on my entry, I still was able to recalibrate and visualize what I was going to, you know, going to trade. And that was super key, like being able to do that at a trade where you already fucked up, and being to still compose yourself. That's like something I'm super proud of, right? Okay. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so at the higher time frames, this was a support, and I managed to buy from that. This is a small time frames, but I wanted to show you the thinking process behind the entry. And okay, so yeah, execution of my risk management plan, the best thing right here. And yeah, waiting for a logical setup, and yeah, confirmation, green candle to go long compared to going red on green buys. Oh my god. And sticking to my stop loss. Now, the issue that I had once again, is that I did not leave a runner. And can you imagine if I did? If I didn't choke the trade, look at that. Look at that. I would have been out of my rut from being a negative on my funding challenge account. But hey, it's a massive, totally different type of mindset and execution compared to last week. So overview wise, here is, as you can see, those are the stupid things that I did on the Monday. And if you were to exclude that, then I would have ended on a positive week. So yeah, maybe pause the video, appreciate how I started being negative up to less and less negative. Yes, there are small amounts, right? But who cares? I was executing on my pippage, right? I was securing the pips. That is what is important. I'm sure experience will catch up to me having more confidence in maybe not taking so many take profits, but at least I'm executing. Come on, this is like week 2 of my week from my week 1 of being bad. Now, negatives. I was missing trades due to probably not turning up on time up on the charts, but that's because I have this fear of, oh, I might get tired and I won't be able to trade, right? Mentally tired. So I'm working on that. And then now, yeah, lack of confidence, but that's because I need to study more. And then executing entries I'm not familiar with. I wanted to it's bad because I was acting purely on curiosity, but I'm naturally very curious. I don't really think of consequences a lot. I mean, not on the big significant decisions that you make in life, but in trading. Now, yeah, slow execution on retest because I'm shitting myself, and I've been using a lot of lower time frame as confirmation, and normally you shouldn't do that when you're new, but I mean, I was just thinking logically that if I have high volumes on my side, then why not? And yeah, I was ready to face the consequences, and I was ready to like execute my risk management plan if it went the other way around. Now, the worst thing that I feel like like that I could have really done and would have really turned around the situation was to leave runners and not choke my trades. As you can see, like, boom, right? Entry there, stop loss was like, that's a lot of pippage if I just did it, but I did not. Now, positives is that I was consistent with market session and I was only trading gold. So this is a big thing. I only focus on one market session, which is New York, and I only focus on gold, right? This is why I did not post any weekly analysis this week, because I was contemplating, that's the word, whether I do, which pairs do I do, and then I just ended up deciding while I was surfing in the middle of the sea, right, that just stick to one pair or one instrument, and I chose gold. Okay, and yeah, now executing of risk management was more consistent also, and I need to wait for so positives. I was waiting on confirmations, I was securing profits, attempting to leave runners, but the bad thing is that, like I said, I was choking the trade, and yeah, I went against, I just didn't make a good chance for my runner when you do that. Now, accepting and celebrating missed trades, because it's really hard to think that missed trades are positive. Like, I have no other words for it. So for me to be able to woohoo and then just like leave it alone and just learn, okay, next time I guess the probability is a little bit higher, so then maybe I'll have a little bit more confidence, right? And now recalibrating after missed trades was such a big deal. I don't have words for it. Like, for me to be able to rein myself in and refocus and just execute the plan, that was extremely hard. I was in this kind of flow. Yeah, I'm weird. Okay, so starting to feel comfortable with executing, which is very hard, right? Executing, what am I executing? Trading plan that I've pre-written down. And actually, it's, if you see my Instagrams, it's like where my my keyboard sits. And basically, this is a very rough summary of my trading plan right there. And it's just in front of me here, underneath my keyboard, right? And as you can see, even when I do live trades, I talk about my plan. First thing, one of the first things I do is I talk about my plan and the goals and how I'm gonna manage risk if it occurs. Now, from that week gone, I was like, okay, on the Friday, what am I gonna do over the weekend? Yes, I did that. Calculating of my stop loss more properly, re-reviewing risk management, reviewing entries, and yeah, so I really focused on impulsive entries. And I was reviewing some setups, retests, breakouts, rejections, fake outs, just in case. I'm not trying to trade them, it's just for me to read about them and like, you know, like drill it into my brain. And then yeah, I tried not to think. Do you see how weird that is? Like I have all this to do with trading, and then I say don't think about trading, and I said maybe go surf, and I said, and yeah, I actually did. So that was good. But like I said, even though I was surfing in the middle of, you know, nowhere at the top, I was still like, yeah, okay, which pair should I stick to? It's just like, well, yeah. I mean, the point of this was to give myself a break from, you know, using my CPU too much. It might just overheat and yeah, not work when I need it to. Okay. And so from there, I plan to how am I gonna tackle this week, which is, you know, so I've already tackled it yesterday. So yeah, this is how I was planning for this week. So do not overtrade and stick to my allowance of risk and really go, like, you know, risk management, calculations, formula all in front of me, right? Make sure magic keys have been in the solar panel, like getting its nutrients. And yeah, identifying logical setups, where to put my stop loss, where to take profit, and just, you know, really like drilling it, saying it again and again, wait for confirmation, because that is a massive issue. And you know, continue to candle close. And then yes, I did plan to go on impulse entries, which is what I did on my trade yesterday, 14:06 Monday New York session. I did an impulse entry on that for a sell, and because I thought, you know, it's high probability with the volume going and the right time of day, then I just executed. But seriously, I was shitting myself. Yeah, go and watch that, because it's, I think I put the timestamps anyway, just, you know, to like highlight the important parts. So yeah, you don't have to watch the whole thing and watch me talk to myself the whole time, because I'm just by myself. Now, executing risk management is the goal every day, all day, every day, and cutting losses is the first goal, and trailing stop when I get a chance, and securing profits when I can. And this week I'm really trying to you know, do something about this, really seriously. Like, this is, if I can do this once this week, I would be celebrating, right? Leaving a runner, not choking the runner. If I could do that, so yeah, I hope I get a chance to do it. Cool. And that is the trade recap of my week 2 out of 4 funding challenge account, and that is my plan for this week. And this is my week 1. Oh, it always does this. This is my week 1, just to show you how I've changed. right? So I managed to change, and the goal now is to be consistent, you know, continue applying the change, right? Because what's the point of me just being this into this and going back to that? No, the real work is keep redoing this, not this. Keep redoing this and keep refining this. That's the main idea here. Okay, so as you can see, look at that, 11 trades, right? And it's golden GJ, 2 instruments, right? Whereas look, 4 positions, and look at that. Look at how I'm entering, right? I'm using, yes, on this one it was fine, but on the other ones I would be buying the wrong candle. I mean, selling the wrong candle, right? If you want to see this trade recap, it's on the playlist, so go and check out the playlist in detail. But yeah, you know, I cannot believe that now my trades look like this, where, see, it's more logical. Instead of buying high and then being a drawdown, look at that. So I'm buying high, yes, a little drawdown, a little bit, and then it went up and I managed risk. Here, no management whatsoever. Especially this is just plain stupid. Anyway, trade recap for that is somewhere in the playlist. And yeah, look at that, the negatives that I had compared to the negatives that I have on this week 2, right? These are like newbie negatives, and now I'm just like gonna be refining from there. Oh yeah, stats, I forgot to talk about stats. Stats for last week was -8, right? Stats for this week is because I'm trying to dig myself out of that massive hole. It's a -7%, and bearing in mind I need to make it at least, you know, plus 1%, just so I can retake it. But look at that. The previous week, my first week of funding challenge, I took 11 trades. I lost 8 times, right? On this week 2, I took 5 trades, and the losing trade was my first trade which is on the Monday. This is why I'm shitting myself yesterday, and I was very open about that, because it's like Mondays, you know, I just don't behave well on Mondays. And yeah, okay, so now I can see that if I just stick to the plan and execute that plan, then, you know, I mean, ignore that. Honestly, if I fail today, it's fine, right? But how am I gonna fail today if I'm sticking to the plan? So that's that. Okay, what's happening now is that we are going into the outro, and I'm basically just gonna wrap up this live for the trade recap, and I'm just gonna go to the loo, and then I'm gonna go and do the live session, New York session. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I really appreciate, I have, I think, 1 person right now, I don't know, but yeah, thank you for watching, and thank you for, like, if you have seen the, I can't, my English ran out. It's only Tuesday and my English ran out. Okay, so I'm saying goodbye. That is the end of the recap, right? And if you have any comments or advice regarding, you know, my trades, please feel free to just lay it all out. You can be as blunt as you can, because I am new and I need help, right? So feel free. Even if you're just gonna take a piss, I'm still gonna read them, because there some taking a pissage, I believe, is somehow half true. And, you know, I'm thick enough to be okay if it's offensive, just in case, or insulting, right? So please let me know if I could do anything better. And yeah, how's the audio? How's the screen? Does it hurt your eyeballs so I can change the color? Right, okay. Thank you. I am going to end right now. Cheers.